We're here to compare the lyrics of the song to the melodic meaning, which we've been scoring across 3 dimensions, rhythm, melody, and harmony. And speaking of rhythm, the song is played at a stately, slow tempo, comparatively speaking, to most rock songs. And so that gives it a feeling of contemplating the meaning of a commitment. So the words are, "There'll be no strings to bind your hands, not if my love can't bind your heart." I think that I want to jump right to the end and point out that the heart, the fifth of the fifth scale tone is the heart tone, and Beethoven used it in Ode to Joy as a kind of a symbol of faith. It's the same thing here in Angel of the Morning. Okay, let's look at "There'll be no strings to bind." And then the happy tone, the 6th tone of the scale. So it gives happiness to a commitment to a single tone, a tone of faith, held through 3 chord changes. Remember, we have and the tone F, which is held throughout the 3 chord changes, changes character with each chord change, as it changes from the 5th of the tonic chord in the first part of the phrase to the 9th of the subdominant chord, the 4 chord. It changes from full of determination and hope to pensive. To a feeling of absolutely resolute commitment to the promise. The promise harmonically is to return to the tonic chord from the dominant. The last chord you heard was the dominant chord, which promises to return to the tonic chord. However, it does so by way of the 4 chord, which again emphasizes the feeling of bowing to a higher power, a commitment to a giving up of one's own pleasure for the pleasure of another, one might say. There's the 4 chord heading towards the 1 chord. And the final tone is that tone of faith once again. So to review my translation, which appears in the column, steadfast faith, here's the steadfastness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repetitions of the tone of faith, and an 8th one at the end. And loving tenderness, which is the happy tone. When I say loving tenderness, I mean, well, love gives you happiness, and it is the 6th tone of the scale. It is the tender 3rd of the subdominant chord. Become a determined resolve to keep a promise. Now when I say a determined resolve to keep a promise, that is the plagal cadence speaking. If the song had just gone from 5 to 1, say from here to there, it would have lost that sense of surrender. That sense, when you make a promise to somebody, you give up maybe something of yourself in order to give something to somebody else. And that's what you hear in the plagal cadence.